Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Cerullo again with guest reader Peyton, and we've got a great story for you. Now that it's officially springtime, Peyton, have you been hearing and seeing lots of birds outside? Have you been seeing and hearing lots of birds outside at your house? Did you know that this is the time of year that birds are laying eggs that will hatch into new birds? Did you know that? So, that made me think of my favorite book about two birds and an egg. It's called Duck and Goose. We're going to check out the title page. Duck and Goose, written and illustrated by Tad Hills, by Schwartz, published by Schwartz and Wade Books in New York. And again, publishers are giving us permission to share their books with you guys at home since we're not at school right now. There we go. Oh my, what was that? Duck quacked. That's a silly question, Goose honked. It is a big egg, of course. Of course it is an egg, I know that, huffed Duck. What I mean is, where did it come from? Oh my, here's Duck, here's Goose, and here's that big egg. Goose looked skyward. He looked to the river. He looked to the fields. He thought very hard. Who are you? He asked finally. So I guess they don't know each other, huh? I, said Duck, puffing out his feathered chest, am the one whose egg this is. I saw it first. Goose quickly raised one webbed foot. It's mine. I touched it first. Hey, you should never put your dirty foot on an egg, Duck scolded. Don't you know anything about caring for eggs? Yes, I do, Goose cried out. Stop yelling, Duck yelled, then whispered forcefully. Don't you know that you and your screaming are very likely disturbing the baby bird who is trying to take a snooze inside this egg? Goose wished that Duck wasn't right. He lowered his head and whispered softly, I'm very sorry. Go back to sleep in there. My, that's quite a beauty you have, called a bluebird from across the river. Thank you, it's mine, quacked Duck. Actually, it's mine, honked Goose. Thank you. They're not getting along very well, are they? So, asked Duck, what do we do now? We should do something, suggested Goose. Yes, you are right. Good thinking, agreed Duck. Like what? Duck and Goose each thought. They're thinking some pretty different things, aren't they? Duck is picturing himself on the egg inside a fence. Can you read any of those signs, Peyton?
This egg is the property.
Property, yeah.
Yeah, property. Oh, yeah. Duck's eggs. No geese allowed. No honking. $5 fine.
What's Goose thinking?
Absolutely no cracking in this area. Quiet, please. No ducks beyond this point. If you are a duck, keep walking.
Well, we must keep the egg warm until the fuzzy little occupant is ready to come out, said Goose. Excellent idea, exclaimed Duck. He pushed past Goose. Step aside, and I shall do just that. But Goose was quick, too. After a flurry of fussing, grunting and groaning, slipping and sliding, honking and quacking, Duck and Goose found themselves back to back. Scoot over, I don't have any room, complained Duck. You are much closer to me than I am to you. Does that make any sense? You are much closer to me than I am to you. Stop yelling in my ear, Goose. Shh, Goose hushed, pointing at the round thing beneath them. Yes, we must remember. Quiet, quiet, quiet. We mustn't disturb the little one. And so they sat very still and very quiet, waiting. For a long time, they waited. They listened to the crickets chirp and the frogs burp. I am going to teach this baby bird to quack like a duck, Duck boasted. While I am going to teach it to honk like a goose, Goose honked back. I am going to teach this baby bird to waddle, Goose added. So am I, said Duck. They heard the pitter-patter of rain. I'm going to teach this baby bird to swim, said Duck. Me too, Goose said. To pass the time, they sniffed wildflowers in the warm sun and shared breadcrumbs, while Goose taught Duck how to honk. They watched the sun set in the sky, and Duck taught Goose how to quack. They counted the stars in the night sky. Let's teach our baby to fly, said Goose. Good idea, said Duck. I'm sure our baby will be a fast learner, said Duck. If it takes after you and me, I'm sure you're right, agreed Goose. Something's changed in the way they're talking. Before it was my baby, no, my baby. Now what are they saying?
Our baby.
Our baby. It's like they're going to share. Together they waited until... Did you feel that, Duck? Duck nodded. Yes! Did you feel that, Goose? Goose nodded. It's time, Goose, it's time, Duck quacked. Time for what?
The baby bird to hatch.
The baby bird to hatch. Quickly, Duck slid down and started running in circles around their egg. What should we do now? He hollered. I think we should remain calm, Goose yelled back. Excuse me, a little voice called out. Can you see where the little voice is coming from? Do you see? Duck stopped. In all the exciting confusion, he had failed to notice the bluebird kicking their egg. Can I play too? She asked. Play? This is no time for play, yelled Duck. This is no time for games, yelled Goose. And what's with the kicking? I was only trying to get your attention, said the little bird. Well, you got it, Duck huffed. False alarm, Goose. Back to work. Can't you see that we are very busy here? Goose explained to the bluebird. This is serious business. This is perhaps the most important moment of our lives. Oh, I am sorry, apologized the bluebird. I had no idea. I just thought that maybe I could play with your ball. It really is a nice one, she added. And then she flew away. Goose gulped. Did she say ball? He whispered to Duck. You know, I did have my doubts, Duck finally said. It is a bit squishier than most eggs I've seen. Yes, and I must say I was somewhat suspicious of those big dots, Goose admitted. It may not be an egg, but it is lovely, said Duck. Oh, absolutely, Duck, said Goose. It's a keeper. And as the crickets chirped, the frogs burped, and the grass swayed in a gentle breeze, Goose quacked, and Duck honked, and the ball bounced, rolled, and sometimes even flew. They said they were going to teach their baby to fly, didn't they? That's the end of Duck and Goose. Did you like the surprise ending? Did you like the surprise ending? I like the ending in that one too. I think it's a fun one. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow for another story.